Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3S's. I'm your host, Chantele Francis, here on a Friday the 13th with Matthew to talk about episode 13, the penultimate episode of the Challenge USA Season 2. Matthew's here with us. How are you doing today, Matthew?
I'm good. Friday the 13th, so I got the devil back as my background. 31st birthday for Amanda, so I thought I'd bring it back. And
is her birthday the 13th?
Friday the 13th, she turns 31. It's a big day.
Backwards, 31, 13.
So happy birthday to my favorite devil.
Favorite devil is Amanda. Was she on this season?
She was.
Okay, like it's so it seems like it's been a long time, no?
Yeah, I think she went home. I was looking at the confessional list. She went home, I think, week 4, and like she just got passed by like Fessy and Chanel in confessionals like the last week. She just dominated the first 4 weeks, but it feels like it's been a while since we've seen her.
Yeah, well, it's like I guess also that background's not from this season, so it's like confusing. But yeah, hi, lovable Nikki. Thanks for being here. Hi, Patricia. Oh, it's your birthday too.
Birthday.
Your birthday twin is Amanda. That's fun. My birthday twin is Alicia Keys. Who's your birthday twin?
I have no idea.
Oh. Things that I know and care about that you don't.
Do a quick search. February 26th, celebrity birthdays.
Hi, Dabu. The end is near. It's Troy's birthday as well. Amanda and Troy. We like Troy. Hi, Adrian. 1 episode left this season, and I'm going to brag a bit because let's celebrate. We got 3 Black women in the final. Yes, that's actually really fun to have some potential of. Will be the first Black, other than Amber, Black female. And Janae, but I would say they're both mixed. So
I mean, we gotta hope Tori doesn't win then.
I said a shot.
Oh yeah, good shot. Yeah, we got a good shot.
Big shot. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. We've never seen that many Black people on the show, much less running a final. So I'm excited to see how they all do. 100%. Hi, Luciana, Austin, Jorge. Birthday wishes. Happy birthday. Oh yeah. We'll get to this.
Oh my God.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
This episode was like a complete mess.
God.
Like so many like cringeworthy moments. Like the elimination at the end was just horrible. Even like the daily, like it was cool, like in theory, but like again, I don't
remember it right now. So
timed dailies, I'm not a fan of timed competitions where you don't see the time, and like the people I wanted to win won, but like, come on, it's the last episode before the final. Can we get like a little bit of a better episode and some better competitions here?
Yeah, and like couldn't have been like a double episode and just like have this one tack onto the final and just make it a 2-hour episode so we can have a 1 week free?
Yeah. Right? We really need that week. And like even this coming week, we have the final on Thursday. And then the 39 like move-in special is on Wednesday.
But like, okay, don't they also do the move-in special before the actual episode as well? Or is it like only a separate episode?
Maybe they'll replay it like the right before the actual episode. But they were promoting it for like this Wednesday.
They're so annoying. Yeah. Why are they like to give us fatigue?
Yeah.
Like I used to love getting super excited about the challenge, being like, oh my God, it's starting. It's like I used to get so hyped and like squealing with delight. And like now it's like, I mean, obviously I love the show, but it's not as exciting knowing that we're just getting off of 3 months.
Yeah, just like make us miss you a little bit. It's like we don't have to wait 6 months, but like can we get 2-3 weeks to just relax?
Hi Fernando, I'm sorry that you're homesick with COVID. I didn't know people still got COVID right now. I forgot that was like our life for so long. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, feel better.
Are we your fave? Well, thank you for being here. Okay, so we'll get back to these comments for sure. What happened in the beginning? So Cassidy's back in the house.
Yeah. Cassidy's back, 3-0 in eliminations. House is against her. I mean, didn't think she had much like of a shot there, but she's back, and I'm happy. I'm happy she's back for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Cassidy enough on Survivor, and I liked her enough on this season. If she came back, I'll be okay with it, because I do like that she's, I mean, maybe the people that she was competing against weren't that like wow, but like she's not afraid to go down, and she has a pretty good record for her first season. So 3-1, that's pretty good rookie season of the challenge, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure.
So I wrote down, this Fessy confessional. And then we see Josh and the sad music. I'm like, there is no way that he makes the final.
That Josh makes it?
Yeah, Josh.
Yeah, it was weird because like last week's episode in the preview, they were like promoting like the biggest betrayal of the season. So I wasn't sure like what that was gonna mean, whether it was like something happens where like Josh and Fessy turn on each other. Obviously, it was ultimately alluding to bananas, I presume. But yeah, it was like a interesting like confessional with Fessy, like talking about his relationship with Josh. Now like, he was proud of him, and yeah, I did get like the red flags there, where it's like, all right, like you're super proud of this. You're saying you're super proud of him. It's kind of feeling like definitely one of you is not going to make it here. And because I assumed it was a hall brawl, like, okay, well, Fessy is definitely not losing. So Josh must be in a world of trouble here.
And Josh says, the title is for me, the money is for my parents. So we learned that, he's doing a lot of these games just so that his parents who helped him growing up, obviously moving to the United States and giving him the life that he's had, he wants to give back to his parents. So like, which is a great reason, great cause. I mean, he already has $500,000. I mean, I guess it doesn't go that far, but like, I was feeling for Josh a little bit, just because like anybody that's doing something for someone else, like, and it means so much to them, I can appreciate that. But I was like, okay, well, I guess he's not making it, because they would not be showing this sob story if he was going to make it to the final.
Yeah. Definitely. And I think like when Josh like explains his reasoning, like it does like make a little bit more sense, like why he like has been making some of the moves he's been making. Like the one thing I've always kind of been critical of Josh is like, I think he does play like a really good social game, but like he's always like going with the wrong people, like people that are for sure going to beat him. But like this season, he actually like did impress me in the fact that like he was willing to take shots at Wes. Like obviously he ended up taking that shot somewhat at bananas today, which I actually appreciate. The thing that like kind of still sucks about Josh is like he still doesn't like own those moves. Just you don't have to be like sobbing. Like I get it, like you're emotional, it's fine, but like when you betray your friend and then you're like sobbing and like looking for sympathy, it's a bad look.
It's about, and that's what Michelle does as well, and that's what we are always hypercritical of her gameplay, is because she's like, she'll do these moves and then be like, oh, I didn't mean to do it, like, oh, like, and she just like backpedals. It's like, stand in what your shit and like and own it, and then we will all be behind you, and they're not going to think that you're a snake, because they know that like, well, you're just playing the game, you're going to do what it means to do for your own game, and they might look at you sideways or whatever, but they'll respect you more if you don't backpedal on every move that you make and hide it behind tears.
Yeah, and I definitely think like the Michelle comparison is very fair and accurate. I've been thinking about it a lot. I actually think there's another person in the challenge world that Josh really reminds me of. Let me know if you agree with this, but
we try to think if I can think of who it could be.
They're not like currently active in the challenge, but to me, like he gives like a more like extra version. He's more of like an extra version of Tony. I really see like he's kind of like the puppy dog to like the big alliance, but like Tony had like a similar arc where eventually
Right, when
he
he
turned on
turned on
Bananas.
Bananas and like Bananas pissed and
Yeah,
like,
and then they were
"Ooh, I
pissed, and
don't
now
consider
like
it."
Josh kind of did the same thing to Wes and Bananas, and they're saying like your word means nothing now, and like Tony kind of got that backlash as well. But for
100%.
so long, he was like the lapdog to like the Bananas and the like CTs and whoever, like the main crew, and he was always expendable because he was kind of beatable. So I do see a lot of similarities between Josh and Tony. I like Tony much more because I think he's like a funnier personality. But I don't know, chat. Let me know what you think. Do you see any similarities between Josh and Tony?
I mean, I never thought I would put those two together, but yeah, I can see the similarities where it's like in the shadow, want to make a move and then kind of don't own it and stay. Like Tony, I think owned it more than either Josh or Michelle kind of own these moves. But like, yeah, I can see how they handle taking out their, I don't know what you would call it. They're not superior, but they're like mentors, like they're the people that they've been looking up to, idolizing, and then like taking them out and not fully standing in it. So yeah, I can see those similarities.
And I
I would
also
never
feel like
thought about it.
another like similarity I just found with them is like I feel like both of them would like they would get like some alcohol in their system, and then like the rest of the house would just like watch them explode and like kind of poke fun at them. Like they'd always be like poking the bear, like knowing that like nobody really takes either of them seriously. And then again, like later on, like as Tony was like ending his stay, like people did take him a little bit more seriously. And I feel like now, like Josh is starting to be like taken a bit more seriously now that he's in like better shape. He's like better socially. So I do see like an arc there. And obviously Tony never won, but like, I don't know. Pretty
So Austin has a good point here. Bananas plays on Josh's emotions like a fiddle because now when they play again with each other, Josh will second guess doing that again. And same with Tony is going to second guess like betraying them again. Michelle like is afraid of betraying anybody again because she doesn't like how it feels to for them to expect that they're working and then working with them and then they turn on them for their own game, but then they don't own the fact that they're going to turn on them. And so yeah, I think Bananas is playing on his emotions, absolutely, because that's the dynamic that they have, right? Like that's what they've created. Like, oh, you're going to do anything. You're going to say that I'm going to swear on my grandfather. I swear on everything. I promise you everything. You're like a brother to me, and then you will betray me, and then cry about it. Like Bananas is playing on it because he doesn't want him to do it again. He wants to be able to trust him, but I don't think he'll ever trust him anymore after that.
yeah, I mean, it'll be tough because like now he knows like, hey, like Josh
His word
is
doesn't mean anything.
yeah, and like
Fine.
he's willing to do what is like best for him, which like I think going into this, like Bananas thought Josh was just gonna do what was best for like the group. But obviously that's not the case. But I actually agreed with Bananas when Bananas was saying to Tori and Josh, like, what are you guys doing? Because I truly like didn't really know what they were doing. Like Josh, like I get it, like in a way, like Bananas is a 7-time champ, but like you didn't have to lie. Like you didn't have to swear on your grandfather's life or swear on your grandfather's memory. I'm not sure what it was, but he didn't have to do that. Like there was only 2 options, and it's like, hey, like Fessy wants to go against you. I'm sorry, like I can't go against 2 people, and like I have to put you in. But instead, like he just lied and did not need to do it. But and
Well,
then Tori.
it was okay. Well, we're gonna get into it a little bit more, but we might as well talk about it now because there's not much happened in this episode, so we might as well just have a free flowing conversation. But like, so Tori making a promise to Fessy and Corey, and then so she has to betray someone that she's had a long-standing promise to, and it's just like I was so irritated with like I don't care that Bananas like got betrayed, like it's not that, but it's just like her rationale and her reasoning as to like why it was fine for her to betray Bananas because she made a promise to other people, but she also made a promise to Bananas.
Well, no, Tori
She's so
actually voted for
annoying.
Josh, which I thought was
Oh,
very
well,
weird.
yeah, well, she said that, like, he was like, "That was stupid, like, you shouldn't have
Yeah.
done that."
Yeah, and I agree in a way. Like, if the reason she did it was because she thought like Josh would be the weakest finals competitor, like that I would understand more and like respect more. But like everything we've ever seen from Tori, like she never betrays her people. And like this was the one time she did it, and it just made no sense because like from everything we can see, like her and Josh are super tight. And like I fully agreed with what Bananas was saying, where he's like, why do you guys care so much about Corey? Like Corey's not really like part of our crew. And it's true, he's not. And also it's like for
So what?
Tori, like why do you care if you go back on your word with Corey? Next season, you're going to be working with Josh and Bananas and all the same people as usual. And like Corey is going to be on the outside of that again. So who cares?
Do you know what else though too? Is like I think that Tori has gotten a little bit jaded or like misguided by the fact that she's been so well insulated in these past few seasons with the whole Vacation Alliance, because as soon as Bananas doesn't want to be protecting you, like he could very well build a group of people that can be anti-Tory, and she's like not in the cool kid gang anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to see in like future seasons, like if Bananas will ever turn on like people like Tori. Like I don't put it past him, but I am curious to see. Like, he hasn't really been in a position where he's been able to the last couple seasons, but I do wonder like what would it take for him to turn on like Tori and
For who?
Josh? It might be
Bananas?
easier now. Yeah. Like, do you think Bananas would just straight up like go after
No,
Tori?
like now I think that like how this episode ended, he was like you can easily get over Josh, like, you know, betraying you with like putting your name in the hopper. Like it's not that big of a betrayal. But how angry he was about it, I think that he's going to use that as his plot point for the next season. Like that's him producing now. It's like you betrayed me once, we're never friends again. I'll pretend to be friends with you, but I am coming for you. And I just feel like he's just placing himself in the storyline and creating a new dynamic.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see like I mean, Bananas is on House of Villains. Like, I want to see the villain side of Bananas come back to the challenge.
I mean, I think that this is his like open door policy for this.
Like these last couple seasons of Bananas has just like not been it. Like, I don't like the nice guy Bananas, but like if he can bring like the villain back to the challenge, I would love it. Like, I want to see him betray like Jordan and like people that like could potentially beat him. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe like this is the start of like the start of the like return of the old Bananas.
Right. So Zane here is saying, I think the episode gave Bananas a way to be able to distance himself from Tori and Josh and that group in the future if he actually wants to. Absolutely. Like, I
Yeah, but
think
that's
that
the last part is the part that catch my eye. If he wants to, like, if
I
he
think he
shows up,
will, though. You know, he loves producing things, right?
I know, but it, like, I don't know. We'll see
If
what
the
the cast
producers are on
authority.
his side about like creating this distance and being like, let's create a new enemy and like Tori versus Bananas, I see it.
But he's gonna need people on the cast that are like willing to work with him then, and that's gonna be the tricky parts. Because like realistically, like even with season 40, like how many like old school people are there gonna be? Like maybe he gets like a Derek is there, like a Mark or Brad is there, and like he has a few people, but like I don't think he's gonna have like 10 people that are like actively working against the Vacation Alliance. But I could see him like turning on them like later in the game though.
I mean, I feel like it's a storyline that's being built right now.
I hope
That's what I
so.
think. So we see Chanel braiding Corey's hair and talking about her flopping on Survivor. You know, you don't really get to see how people feel about their performances on other shows that much. And so when I saw this, I'm like, okay, so she's probably going into a hall brawl. And if she goes into a hall brawl against Cassidy, I would bank that she's going to win to kind of upset her flopping on Survivor, like to counterpoint that. So this episode really telecasted everything that was happening. Like there was no mystery.
Something I do like about this season, actually, obviously it's because it's on CBS, but I actually like how they're like referencing the previous shows that these people have been on and like their experience on the show. They've done it a lot with like Chris.
I think it's for
Michelle.
the MTV fan.
Yeah, definitely. Just like people that don't necessarily watch Survivor, like not super familiar with like Big Brother. But I do like how they have like those like little flashbacks. And even like for me, like as someone who watches Survivor and I've seen every season, and Big Brother as well, like it is nice to get that little refresher. Because to be honest, like Chanel on Survivor was not like a super memorable character. Like she was early merge. Like
Well, she had her tribal council was pretty wild.
yeah.
I can't remember how it all went down, but she didn't have her vote, but she pretended that she did. And then she lied to Mike, I think it was. And then they were trying to convince like other people to switch their vote. Like I remember it was just a wild tribal. And then that it just didn't help her gain any trust with Mike. And so she was the merge boot.
Yeah. And I think last week also there was like a little bit like Desi had a bit of a flashback where it was like her on Survivor. It's like, yeah, I was kind of like the outcast on my tribe. Like I didn't have any allies. And it like showed a flashback. It's like, okay, good. That's a good refresher because I don't really remember heroes, healers, hustlers like super well.
I remember that Chrissy should have won.
Yeah. Justice for Chrissy. And speaking of Desi,
go ahead. Well, I just want to ask you what this is all about because so not this one. Sorry, I wanted to this one.
Yeah, I did see that.
What happened?
I don't know, but it was kind of confusing.
Oh wait, were you telling me? Someone might have been telling me about this actually.
I think Big T like made the speech for like because she was like the most like senior person on the next season.
Oh.
And Big T like called out Michelle in like the promo saying like everyone was happy for me to make the speech except for Michelle, who was like begging for Jay to make it instead. And Michelle was like, no, I didn't care about that. And Big T's like, you're lying. Like you were like upset about it, whatever. They were going back and forth. Very like childish fight, but like if this is what we're going to be getting for 39, like, I'm super excited. There's been other stuff too. Like we know like Nerys and Olivia are not on good terms. So if the girls are going to be fighting,
who's on not on good
Nerys
terms?
and Olivia.
Nerys, yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like people are like not happy with Michelle and like Big T and Melissa are getting into it with some people. Huey is just going off on people on Twitter. And like, yeah, if the girlies are going to be fighting, we're going to enjoy season 39.
What do you think about what Dabu's saying here? I'm over Big T's arguments. Ma'am, you're a layup. Sit down.
I mean, she may be a layup, but like I'm definitely here for Big T because like she's like the personality that I like on the show.
Yeah, like as much as I value people being physically fit, I don't necessarily care. You know what I mean? That like Fessie's gonna be in every Hall Brawl and win. Like I don't really care. I've said it many times. Is what I like is seeing the regular person doing extraordinary things. And so when I think Big T was it the fire escape that she won, and like I was just so proud of her because like you know what I mean. Like I'm feeling more for that than like somebody that's like an athlete coming on the show. I don't care.
Yeah, I also like seeing like people like Big T that are able to like socialize and like strategize through the game where it's like not necessarily like she probably knows like I'm not going to win most eliminations, but if I can get power, if I can influence others, like that's like a valid way to get through in the game. And to me, like sometimes that's more interesting. Like
100%.
I love like
watching American Ninja Warrior all the time.
Like I do like to see like a Chris Underwood or like a Horacio just go off like once in a while, but like this
I don't want a whole season of them because it's boring. If anybody's watching Big Brother right now, it's boring because the jocks are the only people winning. Not necessarily jocks, but like the athletic men are winning every single competition, and it's really boring. Like in that sense, like I think it's a good season. It was really exciting in the first half, absolutely. But knowing that since week 2, which was like 60 days ago, like there hasn't been a female winner. Oh, sorry, Bowie did just win. Sorry, never mind. But like there hadn't been for like 60 days.
Yeah, and that's why I think like Michaela is just like such a rock star because she is like literally the best of both worlds where like if you want the physical, like she has all the physical. she's won like a shitload of dailies. She won an elimination.
And she's entertaining.
And she's entertaining. Like, she strategizes. People like seem to like her too. So like, she's the full package. And like, yeah, like then you have like people like Amanda who are like all drama, like no physical, which I still love like just as much as anyone else. And then there's people like Casey, where it's like the complete other end, where it's like all physical, no drama. Yeah, well, there you go, Willie, like Casey. Yeah, like Casey, Fessy, like they don't provide much other than the physical, where it's like, that's where it's like, all right, just go on Ninja Warriors then, because like we're on MTV, like we're on CBS, it's a reality TV show. It's like, we need some drama.
And one of the like it started off from two shows that were drama based. Like The Real World, the only thing that it was about was creating dynamics between people from around the country. And so that's what they're starting to lose in this show. It's like they're focusing more so on the challenge, and they're forgetting about The Real World versus Road Rules versus Are You the One versus Survivor versus Big Brother. Like that, the clash of that is what I find most interesting. And like having the competitions to fuel like either the drama or fuel people having power, like it's just like the engine, but like it's not for me what I watch the show for. It's how the dynamics are created.
Yeah. And I do think though, like taking a break from like these like mainstays that are like tending to lean more on the physical lately is going to be like really refreshing. And like, if the Twitter beef says anything about the upcoming season, like these people are going to become staples, and like someone like Nerys is going to be there. Like Nerys is going to be around for a while. Like Olivia is going to be around for a while.
So what's the Huey throwing shit at Zara? What does Zara ever do?
I can't keep track of Huey because like he randomly just goes off, and like it's very hard to like read his posts because he's just like throwing like random shit out there. But he is so crazy and I love him so much. Yeah, he was saying something about Zara, how she was like I think Zara was saying that like this show, that like people that are not like physical freaks, they should not be on the show because it's like a physical show. And Huey was like, no, like we need to cast people that are entertaining because half of you like gym rats have no personality. And I was like,
Zara has personality though, so like she just doesn't understand the show.
Yeah, Zara does have personality. I think Zara was just like saying to Huey in specific, like, because you are not like physically like jacked, you should not be on the show because you can't win. And it's like, most people, I shouldn't say nobody, but most people don't care that Huey can't win. They just want to see Huey do something crazy, and then he can leave. But
I don't want everybody on the show that can win.
Yeah, we don't need 20 Horacios. Like Horacio is great boring for what he is, but like we don't need 20 of those.
No, like I don't need that at all. So Sophie, I agree. Like we didn't see the Josh and Fessy fight they showed in the season trailer. Why do you think they showed it? Didn't show it?
I don't know. It makes no sense. It's like that was like something I was looking forward to, like the Fessy Bananas fight. Like the whole reason I took Fessy in our draft was because I saw him fighting with Bananas in the preview.
100%.
And I was like, okay, like if he's gonna be a foe to like Bananas and Tori, like I'll draft this guy. And then they didn't show it, and it's like, oh, I guess like they were just working together the whole time, and it was like a little spat.
Or like maybe it just didn't follow the story that it had, like storyline, and they wanted people to be excited about. I don't know, like if you're gonna show it in the trailer, like show it on the show.
Yeah, they also did that with the hall brawl. Like they showed just the hall brawl part to like get people excited, and it's like this was not a hall brawl.
Really bad.
So like don't lie to the fans in the preview.
So, like we're smart. We break these things down. So let's just talk about the daily a little bit. It was like a hot air balloon with like a balance beam to another hot air balloon. They had to go up one of those like rope ladders. And apparently, according to Michaela, it's a ladder going up to Jesus. And so the winner of this male and female is going to make it to TJ's final. It's called Burst Your Bubble. Why is it called that?
No idea.
Burst your bubble. Nothing popped. Nothing burst. Nothing was bubbled.
Yeah.
Maybe if they said burst your balloon, that would make a little more sense. Anyways, it's timed apparently, but we don't see any times. Honestly, like they were going in heats. Cassidy and Fessel went first. All I wrote is Fessy is pretty fast. Corey and Desi, they didn't show their climb. Josh and Chanel both make it across. Josh was like really worried that he wasn't going to make it across. Like that was like a little bit of drama there, but he got across. Chris and Tori, they show Chris struggling on the ladder, but then being really, really good on the beam. We see Bananas and Michaela going. Bananas is quite fast. When Michaela looks down, she's super scared. No more heights, she screams as we cut to a commercial. Then she's crying for a bit, come back from commercial, and she zips over across on the balance beam. We get to the scores, and it's separating between 14 seconds between Michaela and Tori. Were you surprised by who took out the W here?
It definitely seemed to me like Michaela was moving quicker. Again, like it's hard to tell based on the edit, but
I love Katie.
Oh my god, I love Katie. Was so amazing back in the day. Like I miss like those like just like crazy eliminations where you're just like there was one. What was the one where you had to like put your head in like a bee mask or something?
I don't remember that.
Or like there was like the fly swatter one, like all those like crazy things. I think there was one where you were just like. It was like something on a treadmill and they were like fucking with you on a treadmill. But like those like old school, like, they should just like bring those back for season 40 where it's like they can have the staples, like the physical ones, whatever.
I don't need that. I don't need to see a hall brawl. I don't like, why are they trying to hype it up? It's not good. It doesn't work. It's over. Yeah. It's done.
Yeah. But yeah, about Michaela and Tori, I did think Michaela was moving quicker. I also loved when Bananas said about Michaela, like she's an anomaly. Like the more scared she gets, the better she performs, which is like very true.
I think she channeled her fear.
Yeah, like I think it's just like she's like so scared that it's like, all right, if I do this as quickly as possible, like the fear will be gone. And it's helped her like 2 times now where like she's won these heights challenges. So very impressive that like she's able to be that scared and like still dominate. So I was not surprised that she ended up winning.
Fernando got a little bit of tea here. Haley went live with Casey and said that if the challenge calls her again for USA 3, she's going to say yes if Fessy's not there. I think the only reason Fessy would not be there is if he wins, right? Like he's going to be he's there for life. We got Fessy forever, right?
Yeah, but I could see Fessy not being on like USA 3. Like if he just stays on the main show and they bring in some other vets. I would love to see Haley on the challenge though.
Yeah,
that would
so
be
Haley was his showmans on Big Brother 20. They dated outside the show, and I think did they break up in a voice note or in an Apple Notes?
Not sure.
I feel like I saw like an Apple Notes message of their breakup.
She is dating a famous NBA player now, though.
Yeah, he must be feeling so emasculated.
It would be fun if like Haley could bring her new boyfriend and like he could do a hall brawl against Fessy because he would send Fessy flying, I think.
Oh my god, maybe it's gonna be like Ride or Dies 2.
Yeah, that would be awesome if he gets some time off from the NBA and can go whoop some ass on the challenge.
So now with the guys, there's 3 seconds separating the male winners. Were you surprised by this particular outcome?
So like I was like the edit did trick me a bit based on like the movement. Like I did think like, all right, because Chris stumbled, like Fessy probably is gonna have it. Because like I couldn't gauge like how long the balance beam was actually taking.
Yeah.
Like to me that was tough. Like it did look like Chris was moving fast, but I thought Fessy was going to have it. The only thing that made me think Fessy was going to lose is like he was so confident the whole time. And I'm like, oh.
And he's like, oh, he was really slow on the rope ladder.
Yeah. And I'm like, they're kind of like making Fessy look like an idiot here. So like, maybe Chris did have it. I was definitely hoping Chris had it just for
I mean, and I think the
entertainment.
producers might just like fudge that number a little bit because it's a better outcome.
Yeah, definitely a better outcome for like dramatic purposes.
100%.
Otherwise, like Chris was just going to be thrown in, obviously, and yeah. So I was happy. I was a little surprised, but like when they said 3 seconds, like okay, like anyone's game here.
So pretty impressive though. Chris gets the win. So Michaela and Chris are going to be in the power seat again. Right? They were just in it last week together, right?
Yeah. No, was it Desi and Chris last week?
Oh, yes, it was Desi
Yeah,
and Chris.
yeah.
And Michaela was with Fessy the last time,
Yeah.
I think, right? Yeah. So then we see like I had to roll my eyes so hard when Fessy was talking about like, we haven't seen it yet. It's like a challenge staple. It's really hard, like the hall brawl. We haven't seen it yet. And I was like, shut up. Like, and then having to show him like winning a hall brawls, like it's just not, you're fighting people that are way smaller than you. Like later on in the episode when he wants to go against Bananas, who is like 100 pounds lighter than him, like, but like Corey, who's like equal mass to him, he's like, I don't want to go against this guy. I want to go against the guy that's 100 pounds lighter than me. Not 100, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, he said like me and Corey are like 225 and Bananas is 185, and it's like, so like put me against Bananas. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, makes sense. Like, you want to go against someone you're gonna beat in a hall brawl, but like
you would weight class wise, you wouldn't be doing this in any sort of other sport.
Also, are Fessy and Corey really the same weights? Like, Fessy seems much bigger, but maybe Corey.
I think, okay, Fessy stands, don't at me, but I think Corey might be muscle and Fessy might be fat. And so fat, kind of like more fat is going to weigh that weight. I think that, Corey's leaner, so he just looks more like strong, but Fessy is a little softer. From what I've seen, like, when he was like, when they're oiling each other up, like Corey's ripped, jacked, lean, like no fat on his body. And yeah, Fessy's a bit soft. So I just think that like, cause muscle weighs more than fat. So he's chubbier. Just saying. Ooh. There's like some guy on one of those challenge like Facebook groups that's gonna come for me.
And like, I don't think you're meaning to say that Fessy is fat. I think
no, but he has more fat than muscle mass, in my opinion.
Yeah, like he's not like 0% body fat.
No. So having more, the weight that he has on him just seems heavier than Corey's lean weight. Just saying. All right. So the last thing that Fessy wants to do is go against Josh or Corey in a hall brawl. I'm like, and then he's giving Josh tips on like, okay, like, your shoulder pads. I'm just so annoyed. Like, why do you get to be the hall brawl like aficionado? Like, I know everything about hall brawl. Let me mentor you.
So Fessy said like they would be stupid to not put Bananas in like as a 7-time champ. Do you agree with that? Like if you're Chris, like, do you think like the call is to put Bananas in because of his like previous finals experience, or what do you ultimately think is the right call there
for Chris?
Yeah, because Fessy was saying Chris would be stupid to not put Bananas in the elimination.
I think Chris thinks he can beat Bananas. He's mentioned earlier that he's like, oh, he's this old man. He's old. I think I don't think he wants to smoke. Like he's like he knows that Bananas is kind of the kingpin, and like if producers go to him for his opinion about like who's going to be good on the show or whatnot, you kind of want to have Bananas like saying like, yeah, she's not a competitor or she's great. You know what I mean? So I feel as though Chris wants to get called back again. I feel as though he thinks that he could beat Bananas. And he has some vengeance against Fessy. So I would be throwing Fessy in for sure. But I would also be trying to get everybody to put Corey in against him. That's the move.
I don't know. I think I try to get Fessy against Bananas there, which is what ultimately would happen.
You want to get someone that's big out.
But I would want Fessy to take Bananas out. Like, I know Chris thinks he can beat Bananas, but like from everything we've seen,
think that Chris is more intimidated by Fessy in a final than he is
really like
from what's been shown this season. Has Banana won a daily? I don't even think so. Bananas hasn't won a daily. He's like a decade older than Chris. Like nobody fears Bananas, but Fessy has won a lot. Like he's won at least 2, maybe even 3 dailies. He's had the power. He's gone against Chris. Like I think that Fessy would, even if there's a sabotage, would sabotage Chris. You know what I mean? So I just feel like he feels safer with Bananas than with Fessy.
I think the scariest thing about Fessy is like you said, like if there is a sabotage or if there's like an elimination during the final.
Oh, when they're still in the groups. I forgot there was groups at the beginning of this season.
Fessy to me is like not scary like so much like in a final itself. Like we've seen him come in last place in multiple finals.
Is Chris a fan of the show to know that he's like never won a like I don't think Chris knows what the final is going to take on him and that Bananas is more built and more suited for the final. I think he's just going by what the wins, and like Fessy won a lot of dailies. If you take the group dailies and the solo dailies, like he was the most winningest male. And so I would think that he'd be the most threatening, even though the finals is a different beast. I think that coming as not being a fan of the show and not knowing how the format really sits, I think he more so fears Fessy, and he also has a beef.
Yeah, makes sense.
Which fight? It's like, how bad was it that like I don't even remember? What did they win?
Did he win the swimming one with Tori? Is that the one Bananas won? Where they had to swim and like get like the key words and then like swim back and like unlock they had to do some sort of word thing.
Oh, right, where they had to dive down, and that was like a month ago.
Yeah.
Dive down, and he got cats and but dance. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny that we're like forgetting these things from like a month or 2 ago, and like the next season is gonna be like 25 episodes.
I know.
It's gonna feel like
it's because
seasons.
right now, like I'm definitely someone that like has like a pattern, like a watch pattern, you know? And so the fact that Big Brother is still on, that's kind of messing my fall up, because I'm like, I'm usually not thinking about Big Brother anymore, but it comes on 3 times a week, and then I'll have to do like a live feed update, and I'm like having to, you know what I mean? Like I'm just don't used to have this like big stretch of time taken out of like my viewing schedule, and then a gazillion more shows than before, like House of Villains, which I haven't watched yet. But Matthew and I will most likely do a quick live on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern to talk about the first episode, and then we'll go live probably after the episodes on Thursday. Just putting it out there because I know people are curious about our thoughts of Bananas on House of Villains, and so yeah, we'll come and give you our thoughts on Sunday. But there's just so that the Traders Canada's on. I'm watching Bachelor in Paradise, Golden Bachelor, like, just like so much TV on and like I went to New York last week, and so yeah, I just need to get back into like a groove, but I need Big Brother to be done. I could just need it to be done. It's still on for another month.
Wild.
It's too much. Okay. But anyways, Zane, you're saying, I mean, I think throwing Fessy in causes the most chaos. It lets people actually take a shot at Bananas, who, whereas throw Bananas in and they'll just all vote Josh. That's true, possibly.
I don't think they would all vote Josh. I think
Tori would. What would Tori do? Would she do Josh, Fessy, Corey? She had to promise to everybody.
I think Tori would do Josh still because she didn't vote Corey because of their deal. So she wouldn't vote Fessy then. She would have to vote Josh. Maybe the Survivor girls
Michaela. Wait, if Fessy, if Michaela, what would she do?
Why did the Survivor girls vote for Bananas?
I don't know.
Shouldn't they have voted for Josh because he's like the weakest competitor?
Josh was going in. Oh no. Oh, Josh went in by basically Tori's ball.
That was hilarious. Where like Josh had 2 votes and like Tori like essentially sent him into a hollow brawl against Fessy, and like it didn't turn out to be like a true hollow brawl, but like imagine if Josh just got his ass kicked by Fessy repeatedly in a hollow brawl because Tori voted for him. Like such a slap in the face.
That'd be perfect. That's what should have happened. That's what I thought was happening.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get back to the nomination. So we see that Michaela made a deal with Tori. How'd you feel about that?
I like it. I like the fact that like they made the deal. Another thing I was thinking though is like you made the deal, which was smart, like, but should you keep the deal? Like, should you go back on your word? Like, if
now
you're
that you have power and you know that you're in the final.
Yeah, you're in the final. It's like, yeah, like one of your friends might have to go against Tori, but at the end of the day, if Desi is going against Tori, even if Desi loses, like it's still kind of good for you. Like Desi's a beast. And like, I don't know if Michaela plans on like moving over to MTV and being like a staple. So if she doesn't plan on that, like I think you should have just turned on Tori there. If you do plan on doing this for a while, then like obviously like it makes sense and I get it.
So Jorge wants to know if Chris has put Bananas up, do you think Corey and Fessy would have voted Josh?
No way. Corey would have.
Oh no, Chris is the thing. Sorry.
Corey would have voted Josh. Fessy, I think, would have voted Corey over Josh. I don't see any way Fessy votes for Josh.
Yeah, I agree, actually. Yeah, I agree. But it would be a Sophie's Choice moment.
The thing I would wonder though, like I feel like Bananas would try to get Fessy into elimination if he had a chance, if Fessy was available. He's
put his ball in a few times.
Yeah, so I could see that being a situation where like Bananas might feel more threatened by Fessy than Corey. And I don't think Bananas cares to protect him. It would have like honestly, no matter what happened, it was going to be pretty interesting on the male side.
So Cassidy and Fessy are the nominations. We see a scene where Josh will never vote for Bananas. He swears on his grandfather. We see that we learn that Tori makes a deal with Fessy and Corey. And so she has to say Josh or Bananas. Like, shut up, Tori. You don't have to do anything. You can bounce checks in the challenge house as well, Tori. Like, I hate this. Like, I mean, I will be salty if someone promises me something, swears on their grandfather, and then goes back on it. I will be salty. But I'll also understand that it's part of the game and that I will have a contingency plan for the fact that somebody might be lying to my face. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's just these martyrs. Like, I can't believe that you betrayed me. It's like, it's a game of betrayal at times.
It's getting to the point where like I feel like moving forward, like Tori in particular just has like too many people that she's working with where like she's going to end up like pissing so many people off because like she has so many people that are working with her now. Like now Michelle is going to feel like Tori owes her something. Corey is like working with Tori now. And then like we're going to get like Anissa back, Nani back, Casey back. If all those people are there, Jordan's going to be there. Like if all of them are there, like who is Tori going to truly stick with? And like who is going to be expendable? It's going to be
get rid of her.
Interesting. It's going to be very annoying, but I am interested to see like when things crumble, what happens.
She's just like she's wheeling and dealing all the time, and but I don't know. I'm not really here for it. I don't really like Tori's gameplay style. No. So Adrian says Michaela said on the Challenge podcast that before noms, Desi and Chanel basically pushed Michaela not to put Tori in. Womp womp. That's so annoying. Well, because they didn't want either of them to have to go against Tori right before the final. They wanted to have the layup down in the sand, which would be, in this case, Cassidy compared to Tori. And so, yeah, that's why they didn't want her down there.
I heard Michaela say that like a couple weeks ago, like on the official podcast. I haven't heard any podcasts of Michaela from this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand why Michaela would listen to Desi and Chanel like 2 weeks ago when there were still like 3 eliminations left. But the fact that Michaela knew it was the finals, it's like one of your friends is likely going in
Could beat you.
anyways. Yeah, and it's like just get Tori in there. Like again, like unless you are committed to being on the challenge for the next 5 years, and like you don't want to make an enemy of half the house that Tori's aligned with. But like if Michaela is going to be one and done, or like she's only going to do USA, like just get Tori in there. Like it's a better TV moment. Like it's bettering your chance.
Oh, but like Desi and Chanel just playing. I mean, I know they want to just get to the final, and like they don't want to have to like go in, and they want to have their best chance of getting to the final. But I wish that they didn't neuter Michaela from being chaotic here.
But I hope the reason Michaela did this is because she plans on going to MTV, because like I want more Michaela. So if Michaela is planning on like making the challenge like part of her career, like I'm all here for it, and then I'll understand the move more. So like fingers crossed she's on 40 and she's gonna be around
as a winner.
Hopefully,
or maybe
she wins
people that
season,
ran the finals, but like
or
that'd be cool. If
41
she
whenever.
Wins, I'll be very happy if she wins.
Oh, I'd be so happy.
Very happy.
She's definitely the person I'm most rooting for at this point.
So Josh talks to Fessy, and Fessy wants bananas. We talked a little bit already about like the whole size thing, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just wouldn't feel good about a win in a hall brawl against somebody smaller than me. Right? Can you really take pride in like beating down somebody that's tinier than you?
I mean, I wouldn't take pride in it, but I would definitely rather that than someone bigger than me. So,
no, but I just, he's so like, oh, I'm like so good at hall brawls, but it's always with somebody that's not equally matched. It's annoying.
Yeah, like he beat up on Kyle and Nelson, right? And then it would have been, I mean, Josh. I don't really count this one anyways, but Kyle and Nelson, who are much lighter than Fessy.
So we get the secret vote. We see Bananas votes in Corey and Desi. I was surprised about Desi. Why not Chanel?
Yeah, it was weird with throwing a vote there.
Like, wouldn't he rather run the final with Desi than with Chanel?
I thought that was like the weirdest thing about this whole episode. Like nobody really voted based on who they wanted to run the final with. They just like all the girls voted Bananas, and it's like you would think they would rather run with him, and then Bananas voted Desi. Didn't really make sense. Unless they know something about the format of the final that we don't know, maybe. Which is possible.
But... we see Corey votes Bananas. We see Cassidy votes Chanel. Tori voting Chanel. And Josh, I couldn't see which ball it was. It was the first ball, but I couldn't tell whose name it was. But if it's alphabetical, we could assume that it was Bananas at that point. So Josh comes back into the, like, after placing the ball in the hopper, crying, and tells Bananas that he puts his name in. Obviously, Bananas was furious about this. Then Tori comes over to comfort Josh and like basically tells Josh that she voted for him, and Bananas pissed that like both of them are voting for people in their group. Like, duh, don't do that. And because like Bananas wants to run against Josh and wants to run with Tori, like likely, like. So we get down to the arena. We see that Tori got 2 balls. So who were her 2 balls?
It must have been Chanel and Desi, no?
Oh, great. They had to do guy and girl. Correct.
Yeah.
Desi gets 1 ball. Chanel gets 5 balls. Corey gets 1 ball. Josh gets 2. And Bananas gets 5. Now, people are going to call rigged with the outcome here, but the first round is going to be Cassidy versus Chanel in a hall brawl with a puzzle. And the second round is going to be Fessy versus not Bananas that had 5 balls in the hopper, but Josh, who had 2, one being Tori's. Who's the other one, Corey?
Yeah, no, it can't be Corey. I'm guessing it was Cassidy.
On Josh?
It's got to be one of the girls. Corey would have voted bananas for sure. He did vote bananas because he said like it's time for a new champion or like time for my belt. It's got to be one of the girls. I'm guessing it was Cassidy because I just imagine that Desi and Chanel would have voted together.
Chat. John. When you call him John, I find it very funny, lovable Nikki. Chad, do you guys know who voted for Josh, the second vote? No say.
I think it has to be Cassidy.
It just seems dumb though. Why would she vote in Josh?
It just can't be anyone else because like no way it was Fessy or Corey. We know it wasn't Corey or Fessy. Josh didn't vote for himself, and then Desi and Chanel.
Wait, no, hold on. We don't know it's So Fessy voted bananas. Corey voted bananas.
Yeah. So the
Corey
only votes that are unaccounted for are Desi, Chanel, and Cassidy. And I just imagine Desi and Chanel would have voted together for sure.
For bananas.
Yeah.
I guess it's maybe she was just like not trying to pile it on bananas. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. But
maybe Cassidy was thinking like, hey, if I come back, like I want to run the finals with bananas.
Or also that bananas would be like, I didn't vote for you. I didn't put your name. I wasn't one of the 5. Like work with me. I know I'm Survivor, but I'm still banana strong.
Yeah.
So this stupid elimination was a hall brawl where they had to be holding like a shield, I guess you can say it. I don't know. It's a one and done hall brawl. They had to use the shield thing for the initial impact. Once they make it through, running through, there's a puzzle, which it was a dumb puzzle where you just have to count how many triangles or how many squares. No, it's all squares. How many squares were in the puzzle. We've seen these all the time. There's always way more than you actually originally expect. And yeah, basically the first one, Chanel got it, and it was 6 squares. And I was wondering, I wrote down, why does Corey want to run the final with Fessy? He's like, I want to run the final with this guy. Why?
No, it seems like it was more like a sentimental thing. It's like, yeah, we've done this 3 times already. Like, let's do it again.
Yeah. The one puzzle I could have won if I was cast. Yeah, 100%. But the fact that Corey wants to run the final with Fessy is stupid. And then I didn't even write down the other one. But it was 10. It was 10 squares. And Fessy he gamed the system. So basically he did his first initial count. And then he knew that the number was going to be quite close to whatever number he originally guessed. So he just basically ran back and forth, guessing one number up until he got it correct. What do you think of that strategy? Do you think it's fair? And do you think that this was a hall brawl?
I think this was the worst elimination I've ever seen on the challenge. This was worse than the Dusty versus Wes elimination earlier in the season, which I absolutely despised. There was nothing good about this elimination. And like, even like people that like the official challenge podcast, like Derek Kaczynski, who like are obsessed with like appeasing production, like even they are admitting that this challenge sucked. This was like the fact that like they took hall brawl, which like in their minds is a staple, and like we personally don't love it. Like I'm sick of hall brawls, but like the fact that they took hall brawl and completely ruined it and made it worse is just insane. I
think it's working smarter, Chris. Or Jess, sorry, like taking extra chips without counting. I think that he just knew that it's going to be quick.
Yeah. Like, so and then what Fessy was doing after, like, I personally don't think that should be allowed.
What did he do?
How Fessy was just going back and forth.
Back and forth. Yeah.
Where he went 7, 8, 9, 10.
Absolutely. Right. Which is he gamed the system.
Yeah. Because it was allowed.
Anything. Yeah. It was in the rules. It was fine. It wasn't wrong.
Right. No. What he did was like smart to win the challenge, which is ultimately what you're trying to do. But like, it completely ruined the elimination that was already ruined because production ruined the elimination. So production ruined like an already worsening elimination being Hall Brawl. They made it 10 times worse by adding the pads, not having them actually have to get through the hall. Like the actual Hall Brawl itself did not matter whatsoever.
But why couldn't it just be an actual puzzle? If they wanted to do that, like, I still don't think it's good. But like the fact that they had to like come and guess a number or so, like what they should have maybe done is make them like have to run around or like lift something heavy. Like maybe if they want to make it more challenging.
Here's
Like,
what I think they should have done. If they wanted to do a Hall Brawl, which they obviously did, and like they do every year, I think what they could have done is they do the Hall Brawl as per normal. They go do the puzzle. Say Fessy goes and guesses 7. He's wrong. Fessy then has to wait for Josh to guess a number. If Josh is right, he wins. If Josh is wrong, they go back and do the Hall Brawl again.
Okay.
That would be way better because then you're doing the Hall Brawl. It's physically exhausting and you can't just run back and forth. If you're going to guess a number and you're wrong, the other person can take their time and then guess again. That would be way better.
That sounds like actually good.
Yeah, it's like too good for production to think
that was like I'm like, ooh, like, because then you can't rush it. You do have to make sure that you are correct before you make your guess, and then like if you're wrong or you're both wrong, you have to go at it again and get back to the same position.
And they could even
they could then still, like, after you do the Hall Brawl part, like just run and do a second guess, but like it's risky.
Or another thing they could do, which is kind of similar to what I just suggested, would be whoever wins the Hall Brawl is the person that gets to guess first. So if like Fessy would obviously beat
or
Josh.
choose whether they guess for who guesses.
Yeah. So like Fessy beats Josh in the Hall Brawl, gets to his puzzle first. He gets to the first crack at answering the puzzle. If he's right, he wins. If he's wrong, Josh gets the chance, and then they go back and reset. But I don't know. This elimination was horrible. The fact that it was right before the final too, it's like so disappointing. Like, what are you doing, production?
I don't know. Like, I think it's CBS has just been influencing MTV by just making bad comps.
I hope, like, if they're gonna do Hall Brawl in season 39, like, just do a normal Hall Brawl. Like, none of this like nonsense.
I guess they were doing that just in case to give a chance to some other people that are not going to physically necessarily be able to win the Hall Brawl. So I guess they were listening to us. It's so stupid. Yes.
I kept seeing on Twitter, people were like joking, like, the reason they did these rules, the reason they did this elimination was like they wanted a Hall Brawl in case Tori went in, and they wanted a puzzle involved in case Bananas went in.
Absolutely.
So they had both things set up, and then neither of them went in, so they just kept it. It's like, no, I don't think that was the case. But I tweeted, like, as a joke, I was like, hey, if you want to rig it for Bananas, just like rig the hopper. Don't ruin the elimination. Yeah, I'd rather you just rig the hopper and have Bananas not go in, which, I mean, he didn't go in anyways, than like ruin the complete elimination.
100%. Debu says nothing will beat Nani versus Georgia duct tape elimination. I was so pissed. Like Turbo, like the fact that they had to switch, I was just like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, Turbo like really fucked over Nani there, and that was like his partner the whole game. Yeah, that was a bad elimination. But I think this one was worse, to be honest.
So bad. It was so bad. It's just like, oh, let's like, maybe that's burst your bubble. Like, it really, like, the lackluster elimination right before the final burst my bubble.
So you think if it was just a normal Hall Brawl, you think Chanel still beats Cassidy?
Well, Cassidy has like that Muay Thai experience. So she might have been capable of holding Chanel for a bit and tiring her out. So not 100%, but if Chanel gets a good hit on Cassidy and she gets winded, then yeah, she would go down and she'd be able to win. But I think that if they meet and Cassidy is able to tire Chanel out, I think that Cassidy has better stamina than Chanel does.
Yeah, I was thinking when I thought it was just a normal hall brawl, I was thinking like 60-40 Chanel, and then like 99-1 for Fessy over Josh. And then when I heard the twist, I was like, oh, this is literally just like 50-50 for both sides, because the hall brawl doesn't actually matter. It's like Josh could theoretically get the puzzle before Fessy. And it was pretty much 50-50. Like if Fessy didn't do his strategy, which again, like was smart considering he was allowed to do it, Josh easily could have won that.
Yeah. Well, if like Josh just had done the same thing, he would have, I think because he started at 8. So like if he did 8, then 9, then 10, he would have gotten it more quickly.
Yeah.
So the last part of this was Bitter Bananas saying, "Don't take care, hope to see you never," about Josh for throwing him into the hopper. He didn't even go in and he's still pissed at Josh.
Yeah. I don't know. I actually really enjoyed Bananas this episode. And again, I think it's because I watched like House of Villains right after, and I was just like, you know what, like I'm kind of like digging Bananas right now, which is like unlike me in recent years. But I kind of liked like the bitterness here. Like to me, it was like a little bit more like reasonable than like early in the season when he was like complaining to the whole house.
Yeah, like whining.
Like I do think Bananas had reason to like be frustrated here, and I did kind of like him like poking fun at Josh. And I have seen through like social media, like it looks like Josh and Bananas are like cool, like they're friends now. I don't know,
but like it's sometimes you're still cool, but like you'll screw him over in the game the next time. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, like I could see Bananas being wary of Josh in the future, but like I don't think there's like bad blood outside the game.
I mean, I think that Josh is helpful to Bananas' game to a certain extent, and Bananas doesn't mind running a final with him. So the fact that Josh isn't physically intimidating might be helpful for Josh in the not getting targeted by Bananas. So Sudani here is saying on the Challenge podcast, Josh said that Chanel asked before they started if she could drag Cassidy to her area, and it started a fight. Oh. Might have to go listen to the Challenge official podcast.
Yeah, I saw that one pop up, and it's like the guests were Chanel and Josh, and I'm just like, you know what? No thanks. I'm gonna sit this one out. I'll wait till next week.
Oh, that's true.
But that's interesting. Yeah, no reunion. Honestly, I'm fine with no reunion. We don't.
I don't need a reunion.
No. I don't need another week of this. Like we don't need to overlap. Like we don't need to overlap 2 weeks.
We're good. I wish this was a double episode and the finale was done. You know?
Yeah, I'd love to see Amanda again, but like if we're just gonna get like a minute of Amanda at a reunion, like yelling at
I don't need a reunion for this one. It wasn't juicy enough. Sorry, there's like one fight. All right, so we learned that the final is going to be a 2-day race. It looks pretty hard. From what you saw in like the trailer, is there anybody that you feel like is a front runner that might win this season?
So to me, it looked like it's going to be very checkpoint heavy. It looked like there was like a lot of like mini like games and like events and things that were going on, which does make sense. So I'm guessing it's going to be like you run like different heats with different partners, similar to last season. I think for me, I think Bananas is going to be tough to beat if it is checkpoint heavy. I honestly think Chris for the guys, if it's like more endurance heavy, like I think Chris will be good with that.
Was there any fights this episode? Sorry, just interjecting here. No, there wasn't any fights.
Unless you consider like Bananas and Josh a fight.
Nah.
I mean, it was more like Bananas just getting mad at Josh.
Not a fight.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Continue.
I would say, you know what? I'm gonna go Michaela, and I think that might be wishful thinking more so. Again, if it's checkpoint heavy, like anyone can really win. I'll go Michaela and I want to say Chris. I want to say Chris is going to win.
That could be. Woo.
I really hope he can pull it off. I think it would be like really cool if he just beats all these vets.
That would be.
But like Bananas is scary. Fessy is
there's an eating portion, right? So
yeah, I just think if it's like checkpoint heavy, like Fessy is like not as dangerous.
Why do you say that? Not that I disagree, but I don't understand.
Well, because like if there's like one thing that's like running, like I'm not like super like scared there. Like eating is obviously going to be one. Like he's probably going to be the worst at that. And then if it's just like random like games and stuff, like he doesn't really have like a physical advantage because it's just like, hey, we're throwing axes. It looked like they were doing like axe throwing in one of them.
That, yeah.
So it's like, unless there's something where it's like, hey, you have to move like heavy equipment from point A to point B, I don't think like Fessy is going to have a huge advantage. Fessy is good at puzzles and math. That's true. But I feel like Chris would be good too.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put it on Michaela, just because like she had to overcome that heights thing twice, and I just feel and people wouldn't let her do what she wanted to do. But I would just love to see her still beat Tori, even though people wouldn't allow her to get her out of the final. I just would love to see that. That'd be great. And as much as like Chris being kind of sad about his, his performance on like how he won $1 million, like I'm like, he still won $1 million. Like you're all right. Even though that annoys me a little bit, I would like to see him take the win out of these people's hands. That'd be very, very fun for me.
Yeah. I think if it was like a normal final, which it could be. I mean, the fact that it's 2 days, like maybe it is going to be like a normal final. Like, I think you have to like look at Tori and Bananas. It's like super dangerous because like they have that experience. Mm-hmm. They know how to like manage their energy through a final.
Yeah, for sure.
So that is key. So like they're a threat. If it's anything like the season 1 USA final, though, it really is a toss up and anyone could win.
So, yeah, a lot of people, everybody's kind of getting some votes. Nobody really wants Tori or Bananas to win, it seems. But yeah, like I'm happy the finals here. I think this was a pretty good season. Oh my God. If Tori is the person I least want to win. I want Chantele to win more than I want Tori to win. Like, I would like Bananas to win only because everybody just calling him old and like kind of like that he's a layup. And so like that would just be hilarious to me that like they really underestimated him. But I think I'd prefer a Chris win.
Yeah, I'd be okay with a Corey win.
Corey hasn't been involved in the season. I can't imagine him winning. Like he had nothing to do with the season.
But like,
was he on?
He has more confessionals than Fessy and Chantele, I believe. Maybe it might be different after today's episode. Like right. Fessy probably had a bunch and Chantele probably had a bunch too, but like all three of them have been quiet. And again, like, I don't really think Chantele will win.
No, I don't think Chantele will win. Do you think Fessy will get fourth again? I think that he'll beat at least one person. So I don't think he'll get fourth.
Yeah.
Unless he quits.
Or if there's like a purge.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll quit. I mean, maybe he doesn't eat.
Don't worry. Anyways, okay, that's it for this episode. Is there anything else that you want to talk about? Yeah, I think Chris is getting a winner's up.
I'll give Chris my MVP for the episode. I think.
I was going to give Michaela, but Chris, why Chris?
Yeah,
I guess
Fessy.
Fessy.
Yeah, I guess. I mean. Yeah, Michaela kind of deserves it too. I feel like the reason we'd give it to Michaela is like the exact same reason we gave it to her like 3 weeks ago when she did the Heights challenge.
Yeah.
But no, I guess
we can give it to Chris. Let's give it to Chris. He hasn't got an MVP.
Oh, if he hasn't got one, he definitely
I don't think he's. Maybe he has, but like
I just think like the fact that Chris's like path to the final was so hard. Like he had to like win 4 eliminations, like had to win the last 2 dailies.
Get some eye candy to win the season. All right. Well, guys, this is what we have for points wise tonight. So we got Michaela and Chris getting 5 points each. Elimination 10 points is Chanel and Fessy, and the MVP of this episode 5 points is Chris. Well, so like I said before, we will be here together on Sunday at around 2 p.m. We'll do a quick recap and initial thoughts on House of Villains. And then we will most likely, as our schedules permit, go live after the episode of House of Villains on Thursday. For this season, we will go... Wait, when is this on?
House of Villains is
the same
taking
time.
the challenge slot, so Thursday, 10 p.m.
But this is still on this Thursday, so it's double. It's both of them.
Yeah,
right?
So I guess we probably won't do House of Villains this Thursday.
Right. So it might still be like a Tuesday or maybe the Friday, something like that. But then we will replace it on Thursday at 11 for House of Villains. Quick recap. We will probably be going back to live after the episode of the Challenge MTV when that starts up on Wednesday. So we are going to have to be taping Survivor and The Amazing Race, unless there's times where I'm going to be going live on RJP covering those, and then maybe we'll have to push things around. But we are MTV through and through. We are coming for CBS. We are sticking with giving MTV the numbers here and that time slot, and so we are going to be doing that.
Yes. And be on the lookout for potentially a draft coming up.
It's coming. Okay, we got
to find some time in the next week.
I need to do a draft with you. I need to do a draft with the boys. I need to do.
I thought you did your draft with the boys already.
I don't know if we did it for 39. I think we did it for All Stars 4.
Oh, I thought I listened to you do a draft.
I don't even remember who's on the season, so I don't think I've done that for that one.
Maybe honestly, these seasons all blend together. Maybe
I think it was All Stars 4. We haven't aired that one yet, so it just doesn't.
Must be USA that I'm thinking of. Yeah, we'll have to find a time to do a draft in the next week. But that'll be fun, and I'm ready.
I'm ready. Me too. I'm all bored ready. Someone was asking if I'm going to cover Love Island games. If it's on once a week, yes. If it's on more than once a week, I don't know. I don't know. It's just hard.
Yeah, I'll be watching Love Island games.
I'll be watching. So maybe I'll figure out maybe I'll just like tweet it or something. Tweet my thoughts as it's going on or something like that. Double Nicky's like, I know we haven't because like we were planning on doing it 2 weeks ago and then it didn't happen. So don't stop it. It's not. Please, Sophie.
That can't be right. 6 nights. 6 nights a week is tough.
I can't. It's too much. I'm like,
during Love Island during the summer, like I end up watching like 6 episodes straight on like the one day it's not on, and I just play like catch up for the whole week. So they please like give me a break for Love Island games.
Oh my god! Unless it's just like 1 month, like heavy.
Or just air it all at once. Like I'll just binge it over a weekend.
Oh, I don't mind binging it. I can do a season binge.
Yeah.
Binge and recap.
I'm excited to see Sally back though.
Yes, get Sally back there. Oh my god, so Sophie really thinks that it's gonna be 6 nights a week. Man, damn. I'm not sure that if it's 6 nights a week, I just don't know if I have the time. It's just there's too much going on.
When does it air?
November 22nd.
Okay, so at least like Big Brother and like Bachelor will be over by then.
Done. Bachelor needs to be over. Oh my god! And Bachelor in Paradise, will it be over by then? No, it's going to be on after Thanksgiving.
I feel like Paradise will be over by end of November. No,
last year it wasn't.
Really?
Last year Paradise was on during American Thanksgiving.
And by then, like the new Bachelor will be on too.
I'm not watching that. Well, I mean, I'm not definitely not covering that.
Yeah,
definitely. Also, though, I do go live at 1 p.m. on Sundays covering Bachelor in Paradise. Is it 1 p.m. or is it 12:30? something like that. Anyways, just subscribe to the channel.
You'll get it all.
You'll figure it out. Ring that bell so whenever we go live, you'll be notified. Like this video. Let us know who are your winner picks. Who do you think is going to win this season? Are we going to get some new champs? Are we going to get some old champs keeping their crown? Let us know in the comments. And we're around all the time. There's lots of TV to cover, and we love talking to you guys about it. So also, if there's some shows that you really want us to cover, like maybe that will take precedence over other shows. So let us know if you want us to cover some certain things, and we'll try to accommodate everybody. Look out for a draft coming soon. We'll see what happens.
Bye.
Bye.